Podcast Bites.
McDonald's is another one. I was completely unaware of this, but apparently McDonald's, and I believe what I'd like you to get into is the French fries, because that was very interesting to me. Apparently the French fries in Europe are different than the French fries in the U.S.
Yeah, I mean, in the UK, they make French fries at McDonald's very basic, probably how you would make it at home. Potatoes, a little oil, and they add a little dextrose, which is just sugar, and then they add the salt after they cook it. So it's like 4 ingredients, right? Then here in the United States, McDonald's uses all sorts of different oils like canola and corn and soybean and hydrogenated soybean oil, which is another, a finicky ingredient that they've created, the food industry has created to sort of act like partially hydrogenated soybean oil. So the jury's still out in terms of whether it affects our hearts just like trans fat does. And then they add...
Not to derail you, but really quickly, do you know what kind of oil they use in the UK?
They use sunflower.
Okay.
Yeah, sunflower, and then sometimes they use canola or rapeseed oil,
right.
which they call rapeseed.
Still a vegetable oil, but a little less prone to oxidation.
Yes, exactly. And then they add beef flavoring here in the United States. So people who are vegetarian or vegan may not know that they can't eat McDonald's French fries. And then on top of, well, of course, they have the phosphates. And then they also fry their French fries that has in that same vegetable oil blend I mentioned, but it's also preserved with an ingredient called dimethyl polysiloxane. And this is an ingredient, and people hate when I say these things, like especially scientists. They hate when I compare ingredients that are found in other objects that are not belonging.
Yeah, I think you caught that flack with the yoga mats ingredient in your Subway sandwiches analogy.
But these chemicals that they've invented these chemicals across industries. So these aren't just chemicals that go in our food; they go in everything. And so it makes you kind of wonder, like, wait a minute, shouldn't we be eating these things? So dimethyl polysiloxane is an ingredient that the FDA has never had any safety studies conducted on. But they also allow it to be preserved with formaldehyde in a very small amount, which is just disgusting and terrible. I mean, considering that something like that is even in our food. And it's one of these ingredients. Dimethyl polysiloxane is not only in our French fries here in the United States and not in the UK, but it's also, and this is what blows my mind, people don't even recognize. So when I was a soda addict, one of the things I loved was going to a fountain soda machine, because their fountain soda always tasted so much better. I don't know why. But one of the ingredients that they add to fountain soda, like Diet Coke, for example, the Diet Coke in the can does not have dimethyl polysiloxane. But when you go get a Diet Coke in a fountain format, like at a fast food chain or at a gas station, it has dimethyl polysiloxane in there too. So it's like, how much of this stuff are we eating? Like, this is crazy. And anytime you go to a fast food place and you're getting French fries or anything fried, I would say a lot of different restaurants beyond fast food are using this additive in their food. I mean, this runs the gamut. I mean, this is like Five Guys, some of the higher end chains. They still use this additive. And
if I understand correctly, as an anti-foaming agent, the dimethyl polysiloxane would primarily be used to prevent all those vats of oil from actually boiling over or foaming over in the kitchen in McDonald's. Correct?
Yeah, and it's just. So, I mean, it's basically to prevent foam. And so, when you, if you fry something at home, it does get kind of foamy. And when you put it on a paper towel after you're done, it kind of like, you kind of wait for the foam to dissipate. Well, they're just preventing that. So it's just they want food a certain way. And that's why they're using this chemical.
Avocado, motherfucker.